Hello, it's LindaLee, and I am not live this time. I'm just doing a recording. Something's going on. I think because absolutely everybody is using the internet, I'm having troubles maintaining a connection. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a recording, and then I'll upload it in a little while. Actually, I might end up doing it the next day. Today is, Today's Monday. I already posted a video for today, so I'll probably post this one tomorrow. That way I'm kind of slightly ahead of the game. I'm just seeing if I can log in and see myself so I can at least make sure I'm in frame, even though I'm not like talking to anybody. So, hello. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. I moved it around earlier. I'm sorry, excuse me. So I am working on the signature covers right now. So basically, the signature covers are exactly what they sound like. They are the outside papers that cover the signature themselves. So in the earlier video, let me get out the book. Sorry, I have a frog. So here is the journal so far. Everything pretty much unembellished, but everything fits, and it's kind of like the exact size that I really wanted it to be before I started stuffing it with pockets and tags and all kinds of stuff. It fits in here pretty nicely, so I can put an inside cover on it, which will be another video, and put like a ribbon or something. I haven't decided on the tie, but something so that it'll hold itself shut. But everything fits in here that I want to fit in here. Now what I'm going to make right now is the outside piece for one of the signatures. So that's going to cover it like this. Now the signature cover, I think I'm going to do it both inside and outside in a collage, so that when we put it inside the journal itself, it's just decorated on both sides. Now I folded the papers I'm going to use in half already, so that I don't make it too thick in the middle where I want to fold it. Sometimes when you do collages and then you fold them, it creates like a ripple in the paper, and I want it to be fairly smooth, at least in that part of it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Drinking water and coffee. Alrighty, so I have two pieces of the drawing paper. And I am just going to make a collage on both sides. So I wanted it to be fairly neutral, but I am going to bring a little bit of color in. I have some scraps and offcuts of different papers, a Sears and Roebuck catalog page, little scraps of music, some other offcuts. This is from whenever I craft, I have some kind of paper under me. This was just one of the papers where you can see where I was like putting ink on an edge and doing a little bit of stamping. So I've got some of those that I can just kind of patchwork it all together to make the cover that I'm looking to put on here. Oh, I just dropped a bunch on the floor. Lots of the pieces are little, but we're just kind of gonna make a puzzle and see what we come up with. So make sure I'm kind of still, my glue stick and some scissors. I probably will be doing some inking too. Maybe some pink. I just like brown and pink, especially together. So, and I'm probably going to make them a little bit larger than this so I can cut it and have a nice clean edge. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. I don't know. We had dinner, and ever since dinner I've been just kind of a little more froggy than normal. So I'm just gonna kind of create a little bit of, like I said, patchwork here and see what I can come up with. Like I said, I wanted to keep it fairly neutral, even though I already had pink in there. No. So, little piece of decorative music. And maybe one more piece for that corner. Let's see. Here we go. And it kind of creates a little box right there. Okay, I kind of like that. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of distressing. So I am going to be doing a bunch of distressing on here, so I'm apologizing in advance because that's not the funnest thing to watch. Funnest. But it's better than, well, I guess maybe I should have just distressed everything first. But then that's no fun at all. You know, you don't see me kind of go through my process. This ink is kind of dry. I watched a Tim Holtz demonstration. I think it was on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? I don't know. But he was doing a thing on his inks and stuff. And he's got a reactivator that I need because this is dry. But I have another one. That's not the same color though. Where is it? Here we go. I think this one's a newer one. So, but the reactivator is really cool because you just put a couple of drops on and it moistens it up. Yeah, that one's a little better. Now these are just papers. It's not cardstock. I do have some cardstock in that scrap pile, but this right here is just paper. And I'm just distressing the edges so it gives it a little bit of... Oh, this one's cardstock. See? I'm already telling stories. Which is a lot easier to distress. And a lot faster. So now I'm going to forget where they all were. Someone just messaged me. Oh, somebody I used to work with back in the day. way back in the day when I used to live in Buffalo. So, well, actually, I didn't live in Buffalo. I worked in Buffalo. I lived in Niagara Falls and Amherst. Semantics, though, right? It's all about the same area. The greater Western New York. Everybody's on lockdown there for sure. We don't have a lockdown, but they're encouraging people to stay at home. But all non-essential services are almost all still open, which doesn't make a lot of sense because what's encouraging people to stay home, right? I don't know. So once I get this distressed, I'm just going to use glue stick to keep it, or to glue it to this paper, and then I'll work on the back half. But doing it this way, instead of it being like totally random and putting it together, I folded it in half, like I said, so there wouldn't be bulk that I'm folding in the middle. Excuse me. Manners, I don't know. But it'll allow me to do the same thing on the inside and make sure that things are placed optimally for what I really want to do. This is pretty. It's got a little foil in it. Yes, it is for a girl. But I'm kind of keeping it, or trying to keep it at least fairly neutral. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay some of this stuff down. So I've got 2 of these to do. Oh, this isn't the purple. It's just Elmer's. So I've got 2 to do. I don't know if I'll do them both on camera. I guess it depends on how long it takes me. So and what I'll probably do is put a little piece of fabric in the hinge to keep it stronger. Because when I start sewing everything together, I want to make sure that it's strong enough to not tear at all. So has everybody been crafting? Spending more time in your craft room than normal, having all this time? I have got so many different projects going on at the same time, and I decided that I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on my Etsy store so that I can get it stocked. I mean, I'm selling stuff on my group page, but I don't really have much of an online presence without the group. So, at least, especially for like my jewelry, which I've had the jewelry business for 12 years now, and we don't have any shows planned or anything like that, so I'm going to post, some of the more popular stuff that I still have, stuff that I sell frequently anyway. And then as I have time to just plain create and make stuff that, I'm inspired to create, I'll do that too. So between the paper stuff and the jewelry stuff, hopefully it'll be a well-supplied little Etsy store. My eco papers, everything that I don't end up selling on the group wall, I'll have available there on the Etsy. So now here, so what else is going on? See, this is another one of those videos where it's just me talking to myself and I'm not really interacting very much, and it's weird, it's awkward. So somebody's on the phone outside, so you might hear someone in another language spouting off. It sounds like he's arguing with somebody. Apartment living, huh? Okay, so put this here. So of course it's not going together, kind of like the way I was laying it out earlier, but that's all right. And I'm going to put some torn edges in here too. But right now, I'm just working on the ones that I distressed. And then I'm going to fill in these little spots with some smaller pieces. And I'm going to sew around these too. So let's move this over. So now, oh, something I didn't cover. That's pretty close to that other pink. I don't want to use that yet. Some stamps. Actually, where is... I saw a little bitty piece of music in here. I don't think I have very much music in this pile of scraps. I need a bigger space. You're going to hear me say that a lot. One day I'll have a bigger desk area. Here we go. Okay, so the purple that I was mentioning, Elmer's makes a really cool glue stick that is purple, and when it dries it turns clear. There we go. Cool. Now I need something a little different in color. See, if I didn't chop that stamp one up, I could have used it there. No, I don't want to use pink. Well, that works. Am I in frame pretty good, guys? I have a tendency sometimes to come too low. So hopefully I'm doing it right. Line this up with the top edge. Okay, so that's my front. Let's go ahead and now we'll work on the back. This is cool. It looks like a newspaper ad. Just put it on the inside here. Cool. And oh, I didn't distress it, you guys. See, if you were here, you could have said, hey, wait, you didn't put ink on the edges. Oh, man. See? No worries. Remember how I said in previous videos, there's no right or wrong? It's true. So no matter what I do, it's still right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off after so that I have a nice clean edge, and then I'll distress it. I'm going to end up sewing around the edges anyway. I think I have a brown thread in my sewing machine, which is what I'll probably use for most of this journal. Randomly I'll probably pull in different color. Okay. So now I need another piece of that's kind of cool. I don't know what some of these came from. Kind of almost like an ephemera pack. No. No. Yes. Okay. So hopefully, for those of you who might not have made a journal yet, have found it to be not so intimidating as it might have looked when I first showed you the first one I made. Let's see. Because it's not. Is there a lot of different steps and things that you can do? Absolutely. But you don't have to do all of them. And there's certainly going to be more than what I do. But you just take it one step at a time. And before you know it, you got a book. And then all of a sudden you'll end up with more than you know what to do with. And you'll start selling them on your Etsy store. Actually, the first few that I made, well, I haven't really made that many. I shouldn't talk like that, but mostly gifts. That's not wide enough. Something with a little more life to it. That's a piece of a calendar. I like it. See? I forgot to look at the time so I can see how long this is. You don't want to make them too long when you're trying to upload to YouTube because it errors out. I've been pretty good with, as long as I don't go over 40 minutes, but I've been hearing a lot of other people chatter and say that it's really better if it's like 30 minutes instead. So but I'll keep pushing it and pushing it, because you got to test the limits, right? So that's cool. This one looks better though. Bring it down to here maybe. And then this outside will be done, and then I can do the inside of this one. Now what I might do too, because it's the cover of the signature, is I think I might actually put like a clear gesso on it too. So the fabric that I put on this, I more than likely will put it on the inside instead of the outside. I think. I don't know. I left a pretty good little space there, didn't I? Alright, so there's the outside of my cover. Now if this had been a true, like I was calling it earlier, a master board, basically I wouldn't have really divided it. I would have just kind of glued everything down. And then you can kind of, oh, do I have a tag out here? You can just then cut tags, kind of randomly cut tags. And you kind of take it as it comes, and then it's just a collage. Oh, where'd that other piece of music go? I think I want to put one on this side too. I need to grab some more music. I have some. It's my watercolor paper. Didn't I tear a piece off? A little piece? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I guess I'll just move on, and when I trip over it, I'll piece it in. That's not it. But I am gonna cut this off. Okay, so now we still know where our divider line is in the back and the inside cover. And another article looking piece. Just a little bit small. This one here was one of my favorite big pieces of paper. I wish I remembered what pad it came out of, because I don't think I have it anymore. It's nice and muted. And polka dots. Keep pulling in pink. I don't want necessarily pink for this. Piece with a bird. Postcard. That's embossed. So let's find... I haven't used any pieces of this map yet. See, I don't have music. Didn't I say once a time ago or so I was going to have music? So so the front and the back have a little bit of polka dot. Okay. I think we got our layout. And then a piece of map here. Sardinia. Okay. I've actually been in that part of the world, in the Mediterranean, in 1993. I won an award at work, and it was a $1,000 travel voucher, and I added my own money to it, and I took a Mediterranean cruise, was spending 4 days in Athens. That was an awesome trip. I went by myself, and the cruise line that I went on, it was called Dolphin, I believe it was. They cruised in and out of, shoot, I don't even remember. I knew I flew in and out of Germany, I think it was. Anyway, they roomed me with somebody, which was cool. I kind of asked them to, because it was, it keeps the cost of the cruise down a little bit when you share a stateroom. And she was from Texas, Lori, I don't remember your last name. If you are out there anywhere and you happen to trip over this video, get in touch with me, girl. We lost touch a while back. So this was, like I said, in 1993. So, but it was the coolest thing, because we got along like we had known each other our entire lives. We had so much fun, and we made friends with a couple other groups of people. There were some girls that were from like Chicago, and then there were a bunch of guys. They were cops that were from California. And it was just a blast. We had so much fun. We kind of did our own thing. You know how, I don't know how many of you have been on a cruise or not, but they usually have, you know, different themes and parties and different things. There wasn't anything going on. We were a whole day at sea type of thing, and in this one particular evening, we all decided to throw our own toga party, and everybody pulled the sheets off their beds, and there were probably, I don't know, 30 of us total that kind of invaded every area of the cruise ship in our togas, our bed sheets. It was so much fun. We kept in touch, a lot of those folks, for quite a few years, but it's been a long time. Lori, what was your last name? I remember it was Lori. I bet you I still, you know what, I never throw away any of my older phone books, so I bet you I could find it. I gotta see if I can find you. In this world of technology, it's probably a lot easier to find people than it used to be. Did I have that there? But that was hysterical. A lot of fun. That's when the company that I worked for, I started my career with AT&T. It was actually Buffalo Telephone Company, and so it was very entrepreneurial and small, local. I mean, we still had, you know, it was a big company, but at the same time, nothing like it is now, being AT&T. It evolved. I actually worked for like 7 different companies along the way before it finally became what it was that I retired from. They have reunions, though, every year. So some of my friends will probably see this. They're getting together August 5th, I think it is, this year. I have not yet made a reunion. But someday it'll happen. I try and see a few of them whenever I come home. But everybody's so busy. You know, that's where the reunion thing is really nice, because, you know, it's done well enough in advance where everybody can kind of schedule it and plan for it. But it's hard for me to make it back home multiple times in a year. Of course, this year, who knows if that's going to even happen even once, huh? We can hope. Let's see. So I think once I finish with this whole inside, I'm going to definitely stop, because this is taking a fair amount of time, and you don't need to see me do the same thing for the other side, the other page. But I will show it to you for sure, because I'm going to do another video where I do some distressing to the individual pages themselves. Before I start, I put glue on the wrong part. Before I start sewing the signatures in, I'm going to have most of the individual page decorations done. And then once I have it sewn in together, then I will probably do, you know, like the tucks and the pockets. So I hope you guys are being entertained. I'm sorry I don't have this like alive. Well, of course, that's just probably me that's more entertained instead of it being me literally talking to myself. But all right. See how this ink will take to this darker paper. This darker paper is really absorbent, and then after the ink dries, it doesn't really show up as much. I hope you can't hear those people like yelling outside. They're actually on the phone, so I can hear their conversation clear as day. Can't hear what the other person is saying. Every once in a while, though, they'll put it on speakerphone. I think they forget that there's like other people that live here. Okay, so that side is done. And I did have the other side already kind of put together too, didn't I? But it all got shoved up in this stuff. So I guess we'll just do it again. This one's kind of shiny. It's almost like a wallpaper. I have some wallpaper too. Maybe that's what I'll use as the spine. This stuff right here. Isn't that cool? It's like a border. So making sure it's not on the crease. So what else? You mind me just doing this and not talking too much? Is it as awkward for you guys as it is for me? Probably not. Because you're watching. Here I'm trying to be clever and think of stuff to talk about. But hopefully you guys are getting my gist here. Uh-oh, that's crooked. One nice thing about the glue sticks is they are fairly repositionable if you pick it up right away. Something to keep in mind. Yeah, the other glue that I use a lot, it's I only really use glue stick and tacky glue. I mean, even when I glue fabrics down, a lot of times the glue stick works just fine. I haven't invested in Fabri-Tac yet. Fabri-Tac and the art glitter glue are the other two glues that I see a lot of people use. The art glitter glue has a really nice tiny applicator tip, so I mean I can see how that one would be really cool. But this is the other glue. The only thing is the tacky glue is really wet, and it would make this paper get kind of bumpily, and I really don't want that to happen to at least the pieces that I'm working on. Only because I'm gluing bigger pieces. Now later when I glue around the edges of stuff, you know, while I'm gluing in pockets and whatnot, then I'll use the tacky glue around the edges. But you'll see when I get to that part. Baby steps, guys, baby steps. We have to learn to walk first, right? That's kind of cool. Just not wide enough. Yes, yes, yes. I haven't found any additional doilies yet. I have them. I just don't know exactly where they are at the moment. But I want to put a doily or two in my signatures. I usually fold them in half. That way there's half on each side of the signature. No worries, no worries. Like it never even happened. Okay. There we go. Uh-oh. So yeah, once I finish with this, we're going to stop this particular video. I will do the second one on my own time, and we will reconvene when that is complete. Almost done. So now you kind of know what I mean by masterboard. I think one of my cohorts in group, Barbie, she did a masterboard. But I don't think she used it as a cover. I wasn't able to see the end of it. But I'm going to. I have to go back. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything. You know? I like to think there is, but there's not. So now that I'm all done, I'm going to trim up the edges so that they're all nice and even, because I kind of went over the edge on most of this. So it's just a little bit bigger than it needs to be. Parts of it are obviously bigger. I gotta find some of this music. I think this was Christmas music because it's white. I have some older music paper that's from 1936, but it's not white. It's more creamy colored. I guess it doesn't matter what color it is. I just want to put some music in this, you know. So now I'm going to trim it. You guys want to hang out while I trim it? I have a paper cutter that I'm going to bring out for that. And it's right here. Ta-da! Fit it on my tiny table. And six here. Cut it just slightly wider than need be, I think. And then this. is 9 inches. We'll do it just slightly longer so I can give the bottom a nice clean cut too. So now line this 9-inch edge up. Ta-da! So now I have some nice clean edges. Uh-oh. Well, distressing that will just cover that up. It doesn't have to be absolute. Uh-oh. Now I don't know which side I want it to be, the front and the back. I like them both. That doesn't look straight. Let me do this. There we go. And now I'm just going to distress the edges over again, because now I cut some of it off. And I have one of the covers for my signatures. Ta-da! So now my signature is on the inside. My individual papers. So that's what the ultimate goal was. Now I'm probably gonna put, like I said, some fabric in here. Maybe I'll use muslin. I think I have some muslin pieces that are long enough. I don't know about inside or outside yet though. Maybe outside. But I'm gonna let you go. And I'm going to do the other one, and I'll see you again probably tomorrow, okay? Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you like the video, so a thumbs up is helpful. Also, if you're not subscribing, please subscribe so that way you can see what I do next. Have a great evening, and everybody. Stay safe and take care of each other, and keep washing your hands. I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.